guys, this is going to be a big Lightfall video, so I insist that all of you please stay until the end. That would be the world for me, because you guys are really going to be psyched as soon as this video is over. I'll give you that. Now, this is going to be one of the biggest Lightfall leaks, so if you don't want anything spoiled, please do not watch this video. This is going to be the biggest Lightfall leak, probably the biggest that I've received in the last couple of weeks, and of course, with this being the last season, we're going to receive a lot of these until February, so be aware of that on the channel. But I'll let you guys know, of course, be a bit more cautious when you look at my titles and my videos and all that. But again, just be aware that there's going to be a lot of fun, awesome info coming our way, and this is going to be one of the big leaps already over there. So it would mean a lot if you guys could subscribe and like, as I'm trying to hit 20k. But thanks for all the support recently, it means a lot. But let's get right into the meat of it. Now, after the brand new dungeon, I went over to the Destiny 2 Leaks Discord server. Of course, best peeps over there. Went over and I peeked into the Leaks channel as there was a brand new tweet. So I looked over and, well, I got and found one of the biggest leaks that we're gonna have with Lightfall. Now, Rezarec, what is it? Well, as many of you know, we receive a brand new raid each year, one returning raid and 2 dungeons. Now, with the new raid that's coming in Lightfall, it was understandably, understandable to post this leak about the new raid that's coming within Lightfall after the dungeon that we received today. With that being, is that this new raid that we're receiving in Lightfall will have a raid boss. Now, Rezarec, who will be the raid boss? Well, we can finally now confirm from Destiny 2 Leaks that Nezarec, the one so-called fallen disciple back in Season of the Plunder, is going to be the brand new Lightfall raid boss. This is huge. Huge news. Now, of course, I haven't been all, in the lore recently, and I didn't play a lot of Plunder, and I know there's going to be a lot of folks down in the comments telling me, that ain't possible, or that's so cool. I don't know really what's going to happen on how this is going to work, but apparently so, Nezarec is going to be the raid boss. And of course, it looks like from pre-photos back a couple months ago that the Tormentors will also feature one encounter within the new raid. It should be around 4 to 5 encounters. That's usually the give or take now with new raids since Beyond Light. But just looking at that, holy crap. How does it work? I am mind blown. Seriously. How in the hell does Nezarec come back? Of course, over the last couple of months back in Plunder, we of course found old relics, darkness relics of Nezarec's body, if I'm correct. Again, I'm not the lore guy. If I get it wrong, just correct me in the comments, but don't hate me, because again, I haven't played a lot of Plunder. That's probably the season this year that I didn't play really a lot of. So, and I think Mithrax made like the dark relics into some type of tea, and then that of course woke up Osiris, and it's still to this day kind of a bit confusing, as we don't know if that has any repercussions, and it could have any repercussions. It could on our Traveler, as one of the prophecies from the Psyop Battlegrounds. There's actually 2 more prophecies that's yet to remain, being one, the Traveler is going to be infected, and the other one being a city will be besieged, but it looks like Neomuna will be that city besieged. So by the end of the season, or around the middle of the season, we should get some sort of sense of any repercussions towards this Osiris waking up, but again, time will tell. We don't know any of that yet. But Nezarec, of course, is gone. He's dead, to my belief, and it really shows that how in the hell is he going to come back? Now, we don't know, and I really want to know how it's going to work. I feel like Lightfall is going to answer one of those lingering questions, and I hopefully don't want it to be like, oh, it was like some kind of illusion or simulation or some kind of joke, and I feel like that's highly unlikely. I feel like there's going to be something to go into the pattern of resurrection. Now, I feel like any other villain that's been resurrected, Savathun, that usually Nezarec might be resurrected as a guardian. Now, there's going to be a lot of, oh, wait, that can't work, or that can't work. Again, I'm not the best for this lore stuff. Again, I don't know really what hell happened with Nezarec. I know he's probably gone, but again, the leak says Nezarec is going to be the raid boss, so we're going to look into that being the raid boss. Now, again, we don't know if it's the big raid boss, or just like a Atrax, like the second encounter raid boss, but again, looking at it from that picture, it looks like it's going to be the big baddie of Lightfall. Now, I don't know if there's any, ghosts out there or any puka or whatever the hell that the said Cloud Striders have, but the technology that Cloud Striders have as it being a advanced civilization would probably resurrect any being, if that's correct. Or, of course, with the whole Cloud Striders, I think they actually get all these nanotechnology, but they waste their entire life, basically, and they only have 10 years to live, if I'm correct. It's a very short life with this, and I don't know how this would ever, go into the Nezarec, theory of them being resurrected, but it is something to look at. Of course, with Taniks, we don't really need to talk about Taniks, but Taniks can't die, really. He's just always there. He always comes back, and it's just a funny thing to keep on going and keep on doing. Of course, with all of his, machinery and with all of his, being placed back together, it is some sort of, little, tease that, things can be put back together. I wonder if the relics will ever reunite, if that's ever a thing, and maybe then, if Callus or the Witness ever find those relics, they can, of course, maybe bring him back as a disciple of said Witness or disciple of the Darkness or some kind. Again, I don't know. Again, I'm just, pointing out, if this is going to be true, which is very likely. So it's really hard for me, especially to find out any more, facts on it. But again, we don't know, really. We don't know how this will play into Lightfall, how this will connect into how he will come back for Lightfall. But again, it was Plunder. Plunder was going to be built up to a season that's going to have a lot of things up to Lightfall. It's like one of those big seasons. So it makes sense to have something from that season build up to the next expansion. So I find it very interesting and likely, to be honest with you, because I don't really see a villain popping up and appearing for the raid boss anytime soon, because I feel like Callus will be in the campaign, and there will be something entirely new, similar to how Savathun was the final boss in the Witch Queen campaign. Makes sense, but they had the whole Rolk thing in, of course, the Val raid, which was pretty cool to a lot of players. And again, having, two different, styles of things is also really cool. Have one, of course, enemy that you're going to face, but try to have his story concluded, or have a good story with that character for the campaign, and then branch it out into something entirely new for the raid. I know a lot of people did like, the Taken King, where there was both a campaign and a raid with the character, the villain, and I think a lot of people would like a Callus raid, but again, we've already received a season, we already received a raid with Callus, there's no point to have a whole other raid with them. That's just my personal opinion, but I know a lot of people would love to have a raid with them being a whole different, of course, said, enemy type or said, mechanic-wise, but I feel like we've already had a raid with them. Let's have someone new in the field, and having Nezarec, someone who was built up for the last couple of seasons, come into the picture is something that I could likely see. Let me know your thoughts on that, of course, as well. But again, Lightfall raid will feature probably on the second Saturday of Lightfall, so that's always good to know as well. And this raid will probably be same length to the similar length of Deepstone Crypt and to, of course, Vow of Disciple. And again, it will be really interesting to see how it works. I don't know, again, how it works, but could be something really cool. Me personally, I like it, like I said before, but we of course have that little sense where something might not come true here, and I just want to put that out. Of course, a lot of people come to me and tell me that I'm wrong, or I'm doing clickbait, or whatever you want to say, and if that's what you want to say, I will not, of course, punish or whatever you. That's your opinion. That's what your opinion is, and I can't change it, of course, unfortunately. I can try to persuade you to change it, but I can't in the long run. But like I was saying, this will be a big leak for Lightfall. It has a lot of things I can tell probably a lot of people once Lightfall comes out that this is going to be a huge twist in the Bungie community, and already hearing about it is also really good. So, again, put that in play. Lightfall, of course, releases on February 28th, 2023, with having 2 dungeons within the year of Season 21 and 23, and a returning raid will happen in Season 22, and it's now, as of what Joe Blackburn said, is that they are halfway through the development of Season 21, so it looks like in another month or so, they'll be in the start of Season 22, which will likely have a returning raid either being Wrath of the Machine or Crota's End, but it's highly likely that Wrath of the Machine will return. So we're gonna have a lot more fall in these next couple of seasons. And then furthermore, we will have another dungeon in Season 23 before Final Shape comes out, being the last expansion in the Light and Dark saga. But again, time will tell, and I feel like that will be the one we'll finally see the Witness, and we'll finally see, of course, a raid on the Witness or one of the Disciples to finally conclude the saga. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know it was like a weird video to, of course, do once after the dungeon. I wanted to make some videos on the dungeon, but I was like, I gotta tell people about this. This is some big news, and I hope you guys are really excited. Again, please subscribe and like, join our Discord. We have a lot of people down there, and of course, if you don't mind, join our Lightfall giveaway, because we'll be doing that on the 17th. That will be really cool as well. But again, guys, awesome news to finally find out that Nezarec will play in a huge picture in Lightfall, huge role, and of course, it's great to finally see, you know, more story continuity. Of course, the story has been great, but to finally see it branching into a major expansion, it makes it feel more awesome, just more driven, you know what I mean? That's just me, but I'm excited for the future of Destiny 2.